Sometimes I don't know what I'm going to say until I jump in front of the cell phone here. But today I do, because I've been hemming and hawing about whether to speak my mind or just continue to be quiet. I don't think people are using their brain whatsoever for creative thought, for an intelligent thought. There's no intelligent thought anymore, folks. Not much. People are being told what to say, what to think, what to do, and not even questioning it. You were given a brain. You were given the power to use that brain. And some of you are just choosing to take the lazy route. Now, I hate that word lazy. I call it the L word, and I don't usually typically put it into my vocabulary. I know it's there. I know its use. I know its description. I prefer to say unmotivated. Until I get a little bit peeved, and then I say just lazy. It's like a swear word. I say lazy. People are lazy. But people are becoming lazier and no, I'm not calling it unmotivated today. I'm going to call it lazy. People are becoming lazy. They're becoming entitled. They're becoming... There's some of us, let's put it this way. There are people that want handouts. They expect it. They feel they are entitled to it. And all I got to do is shed a tear or say, oh, woe is me, and things will just come to them in abundance. And then there are some of us who say, I don't want anyone's help. I can do it myself. I'm going to figure out a way, and I will do it. Well, there are extremes in both ways. I tend to be the latter. And what I'm struggling with today is patience. Not just today. For the past few weeks, I've been struggling with patience. I have quite an intolerance for ignorance. Now, some people really have an intellectual issue where they can't think and process like other people. And those people need help. I get that. I work in that population. I live in another population where if you say it can't be done, I will find a way to get it done. You can't do that, I will find a way to do that. You will never be able to buy that. I will find a way. If I want it bad enough, I will find a way to afford what I want. I don't want much, folks. I'm pretty simple. I'm pretty basic here. I really am. It doesn't take much to make me happy. Wake up in the morning. I can move. Sometimes it's painful. I have my brain. I can breathe. I can eat. I can drink water. I can go to the bathroom. I don't need any assistance in my life that way. I don't need any psychological help. Well, you can ask a few people and they might tell you differently because I am quite opinionated. My point is, when we stop doing for ourselves and expecting others to do for us, therein lies a problem, in my opinion. Now, I'm not going to get into this whole shutdown thing, and I'm not going to get into the EBT stuff. I will say this. Some people really do need it. They are incapable of working. If they got a job, they wouldn't be able to keep it because they've got issues, whether it's physical, mental, emotional. Some people just can't work. There's a whole bunch of other people that can work and think life is a free ride. I don't help people that think life is a free ride. They can cry, moan, and do whatever they want. They can piss and moan all day long. I won't have any of it. While others who cannot possibly hold down a job to bring in income, they need assistance like that. And those people I will help as much as I possibly can. And I do. There is a limit with all of that, though. When a person starts going behind on their end, when the giver runs out of giving because they just don't have it anymore, and the receivers who expect to, I'm suffering, you might as well suffer too. Give me everything that you've got. Give me at least half of everything that you've got. Well, what are you doing for that? What are you trying to do for yourselves? Not much. Yet the ones who cannot hold down a job, and if they need help, they should get help. And the giver should do what they can to help that person. It's a very screwed up world. There are so many agendas. It's like a big, and I've said this before, it's like a big chess game. Us people that work are nothing but pawns. Those that are unable to work are nothing but pawns. They're the ones that usually suffer the most. The ones who feel entitled and no longer getting anything from the givers, but they still don't want to help themselves. They're a pawn. It's us against them. It's them against them. And it's us against us. Everyone seems to be in a battle of some sort. And that's the way the media wants it. That's the way keep everybody in disarray, keep everybody pissed off, keep everybody struggling, keep the suffering still suffering, keep the poor still poor. The ones that keep the ones that are busting their ass to do something for themselves, make them struggle even more, so it's harder to obtain their dream, their goal, and they're already busting their ass to get what they want for themselves, aka homesteaders, right? It's not an easy lifestyle, and if you do it like I do, semi-primitive homesteading, some of you know how I live, and I choose to live that way. That life is already hard, and we don't mind that hard work. But when some people expect, well, you do all that hard work, you get yourself so exhausted that just as soon as you sit down that you sleep. You have all these goals, all these dreams, all these aspirations, all these things that you don't mind working hard for to get where you want to be. Well, I want to sit here and watch TV complain that it's 73 inside the house because the landlord won't let me raise the thermometer up to 80 so I can be comfortable while I sit on the couch eating bonbons, expecting others to feed me, and I'm not doing anything for myself. There's a lot of people in between too, right? I had someone tell me once, you take your hardest worker, you take your hardest employee, you give them the most work. If you want something done, you give it to your hardest working employee because they will make sure it's done. I'm not going to ask a lazy employee to do this because it won't get done. If they're not there to do if they're going to come to work and not do their job, they shouldn't be there. But they need to fill that position. And if that employee just shows up, that's what they've learned they've got to do, is just show up. All the work, all the responsibility goes to the employee that has a work ethic, that has a conscience. So the hardworking employee is being worked harder. The lazy employee is working way less. They're getting paid the same. How long do you think it's going to be before the overworked employee and the lazy employee? Because the overworked employee is going to saying, get up off your lazy ass and help me out here, because this is part of your job. And the lazy employee, who doesn't want to do anything but show up, is telling the dedicated employee with a strong work ethic, well, you can do that. You're right there. Why don't you do that? There's division everywhere, folks. There is. There's division everywhere. There's a thing called taking advantage. People take advantage of the elderly. They take advantage of the disabled. They take advantage of the weak. They take advantage of the poor. Let's go with you owe me. They look to the rich because the rich have worked hard for what they have. They had a dream. They had a hope. They followed through with that. They're doing good for themselves. But the one over here sitting on the couch saying, well, you've got all this money. I hate you. But you have all this money. You need to give some to me. I'm not going to do anything for it. It's expected. Your wealth is my wealth. And if you say no, that's the end of the world to them. You're hated. They don't want to talk to you. They're going to make sure that you're trash to others. Right? But that's the world we are living in. And that's just the layman level. You start climbing the ladder a little bit, it gets even worse. It gets more ugly. It gets more political. There's a lot more agendas. Right? So I'm glad I'm in the woods. I'm glad I can take care of myself. Am I wearing myself ragged? Absolutely, I am. Am I choosing to do that? Yep. I am choosing to do that. Because the more I hear and see and witness the BS outside of my bubble, the harder I want to work for myself. It drives me. But it also is a coping mechanism. I'm like, okay, that pissed me off. So I'm just going to go home and I'm going to shovel compost. I'm going to shovel all my piles of compost until I get rid of this anxiety, till I get rid of my annoyance, until I get down to my basic level of function. And that is the happy homesteader. Not a stressed out one. Not one that panics because I grow food. I raise my food. I'm not lazy. I want to do stuff for myself. I don't want any help. I know there is help if I need it. All I've got to do is ask. My thing is, if I am overwhelmed and if I get stressed, I do physical work. That helps. I don't know, folks. Maybe I'm speaking to the wind here. Maybe I'm just speaking to the deer in my garden, or maybe the ducks and geese that are all mostly down to the bog right now. Maybe I'm speaking to the northeast winds. Maybe. But somebody's got to relate out there to what I just said. Stick to your bubble, folks. Do what you need to do. Don't let anybody try to guilt you into doing something that you don't want to do, especially if they're not helping themselves. People take advantage of kind people with kind hearts. And times aren't really that bad. Well, for some, if they're not getting their Twinkies every week, then maybe they feel their life is nearing the end. Well, it's a matter of perspective, right? I've never eaten a Twinkie in my life. Maybe I don't know what I'm missing. Maybe I'm one of those people that would like to have a Twinkie a week. I don't know. I'd much rather pull a carrot from the ground and eat that. It's free. I didn't have to buy it. Or maybe they didn't either. Maybe they're getting that Twinkie for free. Who's going to appreciate their food more? Someone who didn't have to pay for a Twinkie and eat it? Or someone that took all season to grow their carrot and pull it from the ground and eat it? Who's going to appreciate that snack more? I bet you a bippy it's going to be the person eating the carrot, right?